Hello, everybody. Just finished the 2000s album bracket. And every time I make one of these, I'm like, oh, I'll record it later and I'll keep finishing the album brackets. But I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I just want to, do it immediately. Because they're just so fun to record. Um, and yeah, not much editing either, if any. So, yeah, we had the 2000s one here. And I will say, I absolutely hate the top 10. I can't believe the top 10 of the 2000s. I mean, I thought the 90s wasn't a great representation. Like, I'd like to see some weirder stuff, Prime Sister, Bungle, House and Chains, blah, blah, blah. Fish, many others. But this one, I mean, the top 10 is like downright abysmal. I think the second side of this is much better. Like, when you get out of like the top 16 or whatever, I think that's where it gets like decent. I actually should have a list here. But yeah, it ended up being at number 46, which is Deltron 3030. So that's where the end of the bracket is here. And guys, I realized for the past videos, I wasn't saying what my actual favorite album of that decade is. And I will say it at the end of this video if I remember. For the 70s, Blues for Allah is my favorite album of the 70s, which isn't on the top, what was it, 56 for that. For the 80s, it ended up at 107, or the bracket ended at 107. And Doolittle was my favorite, and that is actually my favorite album of the 80s. For the 90s, it was, let's see, or my favorite, Sail on the Seas of Cheese. My favorite on the bracket, well, go watch the video for that, I guess. But yeah, let's get into this one here. I do not like what was selected, really, so yeah. And actually, I thought about it, and these two are both my least favorites. So this is number 1 and 2. These are my least favorites in the entire bracket. Yeah, and I think this one is slightly worse than In Rainbows. I don't like either of these albums. I think In Rainbows is, like, when you have Tom York, right? Like, I don't necessarily agree that he's a great vocalist necessarily. I think he's great for the rock stuff because his whininess can come off as kind of like a, I don't know, just kind of a, I don't know. It works for the rock style. I don't know how else to say it. But when he's doing like pop music, which this album's more of a pop album to me than a rock album by far, it just does not work. His whininess just comes off as annoying. And, when you have songs like Weird Fishes, which is just like one riff, like the entire time mostly, and then the climax of the song is just supposed to be like, Weird Fishes. It's like, it's just annoying. It sucks. Um, I don't know. I feel that way about most of the songs on In Rainbows, honestly. But man, this album is so boring. This one on the left here. Skinny Fists, Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven or something. I can't even remember the title because it sucks. Yeah, the whole album's super boring. It's like an hour and a half long. I don't really know why you'd listen to it. So I guess we're forced to pick In Rainbows, which I will say pains me because it is probably it's got to be like the third most overrated album of all time. Lift Your Skinny Fist might be the most overrated. But it also could be Pink Moon. I'm not really sure. All three of those could be up there, honestly. So anyway, Vespertine versus Mad Villain, or Mad Villainy. This one is better, for sure. I don't think I'd put Vespertine near my top 10, and definitely not at number 3, but it's fine. It's fine. Mad Villainy is what we're going to pick here. Death Consciousness at number 5, and then The Glow Part 2 at number 6. And this is interesting because these were both albums that, on initial listen, I thought they were great. On second listen, my opinion of both of them went down, which is kind of weird. That's very weird for me, too. Usually on multiple listens, almost everything will go up, to be honest. But these went down. I'm not really sure why. I just think they're actually less interesting than I thought they were, which is kind of weird. Although I think Death Consciousness still has a place. The Glow Part 2 it sounds a little too standard folk, and there's like some weird stuff, I guess, but I don't know, dude. I'm just not a huge fan. I mean, I like them. I like them, though. I don't think they're top 10 worthy either, but Kid A and College Dropout are probably top 10 worthy. At least they're acceptable. I think I'd pick the College Dropout over Kid A. I just think it's has more energy to it. It's more fun. Kid A is cool. Has a bit, maybe too much ambient stuff, although it has enough where I like that it kind of like splits up the more normal songs. I like that it is like a balancing act, so I will give it that. All right, we got Discovery versus System of a Down. I mean Toxicity. Fun fact, guys, the title of Toxicity, I don't know, it tripped me up for some reason. I would always call it Toxicity of a Down. I'm not joking. I would literally call this album Toxicity of a Down. And then I'd be like, wait, who's the band for this again? I was like, huh, who's the band for Toxicity of a Down? I don't know. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna pick system toxicity. I'm gonna pick toxicity, and yeah, I don't know. Discovery, I re-listened to it and I thought it was good, but not that good, honestly. I don't know. The first song, whatever that first song is, really annoys me. I think it's the most popular one. Is it One More Time? Might be One More Time. I can't remember what it's called. Whatever the first one is, though, just does actually annoy me. But everything else I like, and yeah, I don't know. None of it I really love though. I think LCD Sound System is just better for dance stuff. Yeah, that's all I have to say there. So we're gonna go Toxicity of a Down. Did it on purpose that time. Okay, Illinois versus Voodoo. And yeah, I wouldn't put either of these albums like near a top 10 of anything really. To be honest, maybe top 10 albums called Illinois or Voodoo. Maybe that. Um, but yeah, honestly, with these, I don't know what to say that much about. Like I don't know. Illinois is boring. Voodoo is also very boring. But I think Illinois is slightly less boring. So yeah, I feel bad by the way. I really wanted to like Voodoo, especially because D'Angelo passed away recently, and you know I don't know. I really really wanted to like it. I don't. I really don't. I think yeah, or I don't like it that much. Like all music is like pretty pleasant to me. So when I say I don't like something, sometimes it's like relative to other stuff. Like when I say like I hate In Rainbows or something, no, I don't hate In Rainbows. I just think it's like relative to everything else, it's like pretty boring. It's probably in my bottom 100. So I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad. Um, Late registration versus YS. Yeah, late registration is way better. I thought YS is kind of boring. Um, yeah. I'm sorry if this video is coming off as negative. I'm not a huge 2000s fan, and I also specifically think this top 16 is literally not good, to be honest. I mean, not good relative to everything else. Metaphorical Music versus Donuts. I thought Metaphorical Music was quite pleasant, and Donuts is a pretty good album. Again, not top 16 worthy, but I think we're going to go Metaphorical Music. It's a pretty cool album. And now we got to go with this side here. I just can't wait to get to the other side at this point. We're going Mad Villainy, of course. It's like leagues beyond In Rainbows. Death Consciousness versus College Dropout. We're going to go College Dropout. Toxicity versus Illinois. We're going to go Toxicity there. Late Registration versus Metaphorical Music. We're going to go Late Registration. And I think the College Dropout's more fun, personally. So, yeah, I'm going to go over Mad Villainy because of that. This one I could go either way. I could go either way. I might go Toxicity. I think it's pretty fun. And I think for the number one on this side, I think I do like the College Dropout. It's one of the few on this top 16 that I think is genuinely like deserves to be on there probably, which is kind of sad. I don't know. I genuinely have not vibed less with a top 16. I don't think. But anyways, now we're on the other side, which I swear to you guys, I swear it's way better. It is way better. First, we're starting off quite strong with Since I Left You versus Blackwater Park. And honestly, I didn't vibe with Blackwater Park that much when I listened to it. But Since I Left You, I vibed with a ton. I think it's so good. It's so unique. It's all sample based, but it has this like cohesive like island feel to it. It feels like tropical kind of like island music, and it's so strange, but a lot of it's so catchy. I mean, like Since I Left You, like that part, man, so cool. Frontier Psychologist is great. There's also that what is it, Radio Waves or something. I like that one quite a bit. Yeah, I think Since I Left You is very strong. It's better than anything on the top 16. I guess that okay. Well, that spoils how I feel about it. It's near the top for me here. Next we have Magnolia Electric Company, I think, versus MF Doom's Food. And I gotta say, I didn't expect to like Magnolia Electric Co. that much, but I think it's insanely good. It's so good actually. I have to choose it honestly. It's so freaking good. Korova Milky Bar versus the Black Parade. I actually kind of like the Black Parade, despite like I don't like emo vocals at all. Emo vocals are just really annoying to me. But I mean, I think My Chemical Romance is pretty decent at it. I mean, they rock. They rock pretty hard. I honestly like Sweet Cheers for oh god, what is it called? It's like Sweet Cheers for something. I can't remember what it's called. I like their other album more. But yeah, we're gonna go Korova Milky Bar here, I think. I do like this album though. All right, we got Modal Soul versus Common, or wait, B by Common. What am I saying? Okay. Yeah, Modal Soul, I didn't know what to think going in, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so freaking good. And I would especially say that one song like Sick Part 3 or something weird like that. That song was so good. Um yeah, it's just really nice music to listen to. It's kind of I'd say it's kind of jazzy almost. Not really sure. But it also feels very sample heavy. It's really cool. I don't know. I love it. It's a vibe. B by Common, maybe a hot take. I didn't think it was like entirely that interesting or anything. I thought it was fine. I do like the ending song a lot though. I thought the ending song was really wholesome kind of, and I don't know. I really liked it. It's very good vibes, like positive vibes. It's very nice. So yeah, I guess both are positive vibes. Um, okay, we got Velocity, Design, Comfort versus Songs for the Deaf. I will say Velocity, Design, Comfort, I think is pretty overrated. I don't know. I didn't really get much out of it. I thought it was just fine. Songs for the Deaf, however, is a pretty hard rockin' album for the 2000s, man. Like, I don't really like 2000s rock that much. I think all the main 2000 rock bands are overrated, pretty much from what I've heard. Like the Strokes. I haven't heard much Arctic Monkeys, but I can't imagine I'd like them that much. Um, I like the White Stripes, or like a somewhat. Modest Mouse, besides one album I don't really love. Like I love the Crowded West album. I'm kind of blanking on what it's called. My God, why can't I remember the first word? It's something Crowded West. It's not wholesome, but it's like close to that word. Okay, whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like a lot of 2000s rock that much, which is very sad because I love rock music. But I gotta say, Queens of the Stone Age is probably my favorite out of all the rock bands of the 2000s. I really like them. They're cool. They rock, and they're fun. They have good songs. Gotta go for Songs of the Deaf here. Sound of Silver versus Stankonia. Stankonia is very good. It's very fun. I always forget if Miss Jackson's on there, but you got Bombs Over Baghdad and stuff like that on there as well. Um, yeah, it's very strong. Sound of Silver though, unfortunately, unfortunately for Stankonia, is one of my favorite albums of the 2000s for sure. I don't know if it'll win the bracket. I have no idea actually, but it could. It's the options there. Lateralis versus Francis the Mute. Yeah, I didn't particularly love either of these. I was kind of surprised I didn't like Lateralis that much because I think I've heard it called like the normal version of Primus. Like Primus is like the weird Tool basically. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I didn't really care for it all that much. Francis the Mute was cool. I liked a lot of the guitar parts, but I don't like the vocals that much. They almost remind me of like I don't know, like the emo like 2000s vocals or whatever. I don't know what kind of vocal style he's going for, but something about the 2000s, man, the vocals just get so bad. I just don't know. Or like I don't know. What am I saying really? Um, I'm still going Francis the Mute. Anyway, now we have Dope Throne and Deltron 3030 for the final ones here, and this ends up at number 46 on album of the year. So that's Deltron 3030. And I like both of these albums. I think Dope Throne's pretty cool. I would prefer more high end in my metal personally. This is like all low end. It's so like bassy and like just very not really sure. It's very like dark sounding and like I don't know. It is cool. I gotta say Deltron 3030 though is really awesome. It's a really cool hip hop album. I didn't know about it for the longest time and then I found it uh, at some point. So yeah, I think it's really fire. So we're gonna go with that. All right, Since I Left You versus Magnolia Electrico. Yeah, this one's very sad. I think this album could get really far. Actually, I think this is probably in my top 10 for the 2000s, probably. But I'm gonna go with Since I Left You. I think that album's just, yeah, it's probably top 5, probably. Anyway, Korova Milky Bar versus Modal Soul. And I'm gonna go Modal Soul. I think fantastic album, very cool vibes. But Korova Milky Bar, to be fair, is also very cool vibes. Songs for the Deaf versus Sound of Silver. I really hate to see this one, honestly. I really do. I think I've got to go Sound of Silver, but I think Songs for the Deaf is incredible. I think it's so good. It's another top 10 for me. But yeah, it just like why are these matchups like so good and so close? And then the top 16 is like I'm just like yeah, I mean they're fine. I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. Anyway, we got Francis the Mute versus Deltron 3030. And I'm gonna go Deltron 3030 here pretty easily. I can't get over some of the vocals on this album. I don't know. Also, just some really like quiet parts that I'm just kind of like, it's just kind of strange. I don't know. Anyway, Since I Left You versus Modal Soul, I think Modal Soul has got to go at this point. Unfortunately, I do love it, but it's got to go at this point. Sound of Silver versus Deltron 3030, and it's gonna be Sound of Silver again. I mean, you got stuff like Us versus Them, like that's such a good song. You got the what is it, the intro track? I always forget the names of these songs. I don't know why. Get Innocuous. Yeah, Get Innocuous is such a cool song. And then you got what is it, New York, the closing track. That's so good as well. So gotta be Sound of Silver here. And yeah, okay, this is gonna be the main matchup here because I don't think I've decided myself which one I like more. Like Since I Left You versus Sound of Silver, I really don't know because Since I Left You is so cool. It's such a vibe. Well, actually, Sound of Silver is quite a vibe as well, I guess. But I don't know. I think Since I Left You is more unique, but I think Sound of Silver is probably the best dance album ever. And I don't know. There are a lot of songs I like on both quite a bit, but I'm thinking about it, and I think as like an overall experience, Since I Left You has a few things against it. It's maybe a bit too long, maybe just a little bit. I mean, not really, because it's great. So it's not too long, really. I'm just nitpicking. And if I'm being honest, the top songs on Sound of Silver I probably like more than the top songs Since I Left You. I mean, if I'm being honest. So what I'm saying is I think I have to go with Sound of Silver here. And I mean it's gonna win. Just saying. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sound of Silver over College Dropout. And honestly, College Dropout would only be. I mean, I would take Magnolia Electric over this probably, and Songs to the Deaf, and would I go Deltron? I don't know. It's about equal with Deltron. I'd take Modal Soul over it too. So, I mean, the right side is just way stronger here. Yeah, we're going Sound of Silver for the winner, guys, and yeah, that's the album bracket right there. Uh, Probably a pretty disagreeable bracket considering I really just don't agree with the consensus here. I just not a 2000s guy really, and I also just don't agree with the top list for this at all. So yeah, you guys can do your own bracket. It'll be in the description, and let me know what you think of mine. Probably not very positively, but that's fine. You know, it's all about the disagreement and the argumentation, just talking about music. You know, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed at least. Oh, I was gonna say my number one album for the 2000s would be Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. Sound of Silver would be second place probably. Um, but yeah, it is really weird because I don't listen to Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum anymore, and that's by Tally Hall. But it is the album that kind of got me into music, and it is kind of an album that I still hold in high regard, even though I don't really listen to it anymore. I do think it's really fun and really cool. So, yeah, that's my top albums of the 2000s, and yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and peace.